right now.
We're officially kicking off San Antonio Startup Week. Today, the first ever game summit took place. We'll take you there and show you what developers are working on. But first, and new at 5, a Bexar County inmate died this morning while at the hospital. That is according to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. 34-year-old Victor Cadena was arrested by San Antonio police earlier this month for aggravated robbery. He was sent directly to the hospital after the incident. BCSO says he died due to his injuries he sustained during his crime. According to KSAT's count, Cadena is the third person to die while in BCSO custody this year. This is a different count than the number of inmate deaths that have occurred at the jail. We are still waiting for the Bexar County Medical Examiner to rule on the exact cause and manner of Cadena's death. After being dragged during a traffic stop, and that now the search is underway for the man who sped away. San Antonio police say an officer pulled a man over at New Sulphur Springs and South Cross Ranch Roads around 5 p.m. yesterday. That's when he realized the driver had warrants for his arrest. Police said as he tried to take the suspect into custody, he sped off, allegedly dragging the officer with his car. That officer is said to be doing okay with only minor injuries. The driver is still on the run. A woman is in the hospital and police are looking for 2 people. All of this after an early morning shooting. According to San Antonio police, 2 women and a man were leaving a business off Desavala Road near Rogers Parkway around 3 this morning. They all got into one car when a fight broke out between them. At some point, the man pulled a gun, hitting one of the women 3 times in the arm, elbow, and hand. He and the second woman then ran away. The one who was shot was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. No arrests have been made. And fire investigators in Schertz are still trying to find out what caused a home to go up in flames on Friday. Neighbors say they heard and felt an explosion. The fire quickly spread at the home on Mitchell Avenue, not far from Schertz Parkway and FM 78. This as a woman was trapped inside. Luckily, neighbors were able to jump into action and got her out.
The whole front of the house had blown off, and I was moving the window frames and the glass and stuff so we could get her down out of the house.
According to neighbors, the woman rescued from the home appeared to have cuts and serious burns. She was rushed to a hospital. However, there has been no official update on her condition. Was granted the suspension of the execution of death row inmate Robert Roberson. He's long claimed he's innocent in the murder of his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki Curtis. The court said his conviction, which is based on a diagnosis of shaken baby syndrome, was flawed. That ruling halts Roberson's execution. His death was scheduled to take place this coming Thursday. The suspension comes after the appeals court granted a new trial last year to a man who was convicted on a similar shaken baby syndrome allegation. And happening right now is the 3rd annual Souls Walking for Souls event. It's a fentanyl awareness walk, not just honoring lives lost, but packed with education for all families. Our very own Courtney Friedman is emceeing the event, and it runs from 3 to 8 p.m. at the Green Line at Brook City Base, so you still have time to get out there and support a good cause. You can find more information on that walk on KSAT.com. And some of the best video games you've never heard of are kicking off San Antonio Startup Week right now. Devin Karp went out to the first game summit at Geekdom and the Greater Gaming Society to see how they're helping local developers level up.
Have you ever heard of Mario Kart? This isn't exactly the same, but it's a local San Antonio game called Carnage Kart X. And there's a lot of fun here over at the first ever video game summit kicking off San Antonio Startup Week, because these developers have more in common with entrepreneurs than you might think.
I love these games. I could spend hours in them, and seeing little girls light up the way that I did, oh man, there's nothing like it.
It's been about 3.5 years. Right now, we made about 3 games.
Later, you can have your own page, showcase your trailers, your arts, your notes.
There's no shortage of creativity in the South Texas gaming community, and it's only amplified when creators, artists, and programmers work together.
It's the 10th anniversary of Startup Week, and they have a big emphasis on creative innovation. What's more creatively innovative than video games?
This is the first time San Antonio Startup Week has come together with the Greater Gaming Society, a group dedicated to helping San Antonio's gaming industry thrive.
If you want to get into the game development industry, or if you want to get into esports, we have a lot of people who have similar ideas and goals, and we just want to see the gaming community grow.
So we created that hub where people can share their content. So if you want to see like what games are the hardest or what people are playing, or if you're a game developer.
Even with a team, like you have your own bubble, so you don't really have time to play or like really dedicate to other people. So coming out here and being like, oh, they're making cool stuff, and just making new friends and connections, that's great.
And it all comes together for a pitching contest, Shark Tank style, where these developers get to pitch their ideas for hundreds of dollars in prizes.
And it's a good practice for me to see how to pitch stuff to business people, you know.
Devin Carp, KSAT 12 News.
And there are some record-breaking numbers in this week's Mega Millions jackpot drawing. That's coming up this week. Still ahead, what you need to know if you're feeling lucky. The state's new safety rules threaten to shut down summer camps across Texas next summer. Coming up, we'll explain.
Why can't the Spurs pay for a new arena all by themselves? Why do you need public dollars to do that?
They're big questions before a big vote that's just weeks away. Funding for a new Spurs arena is on the ballot.
A lot of voters are concerned when they look at this large amount of money coming from the city and the county.
It's a project with excitement, debate, and implications for downtown San Antonio and beyond.
If the Spurs don't get a new arena downtown, do they leave San Antonio?
There's nothing about what's going on in San Antonio that is unique.
On Tuesday, KSAT breaks down what's before voters in Propositions A and B, who would pay for a new Spurs arena, and what's happened in other cities when pro teams want new homes. It's Tuesday at 6:30 p.m.
New state safety rules could cause summer camps to shut down next summer. Camp owners say that sweeping safety rules meant to prevent another July 4th disaster will force many Texas youth camps to close due to high costs of complying. The regulations hike overnight camp licensing fees from $750 to $11,000. The licensing fees for day camps would increase from $250 to as high as $3,200. Families of victims from Camp Mystic, where 27 people died in the July 4th flood, say safety must come first, even if it's costly. The rules will take effect on January 1st, and all camps must comply in order to open in 2026. All of this while there's still ways to support the Hill Country. The Hope for Hunt concert will be held at Pure Country Barbecue and Grill in Bernie on October 18th from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tickets are $80 and kids under 12 are free. Headliners will be Thompson Square, J.R. Herrera Band, and more. For more information on this event, you can head over to KSAT.com. And just in case you're feeling lucky, the Mega Millions jackpot is now worth $600 million. The next drawing is on Tuesday. The last time someone won the Mega Millions jackpot was back in June, so the prize money keeps on soaring. This is the 11th time in the game's history the jackpot has reached this staggering amount, $600 million.
I mean, are you feeling lucky, JP?
I'm not, but you know what? I might as well take a shot. You never know.
I think we're pretty lucky, especially take a look outside. We're seeing beautiful blue skies here at about 5:40 here on this Sunday evening. And for us, we're going to continue to see the warmer temperatures stick around, but it's going to see and feel that low humidity throughout the rest of the evening. 89 degrees currently, already sitting by about 83 by 8 p.m. Still sitting dry today and dry throughout the next 7 days. Temperatures bumping between 89 to 92, almost 8 to 10 degrees above our average temperature. But there is a little bit of a change in the weather pattern past 7 days. We're watching on that Sunday into Monday to bring a little bit of some cooler weather possible for some folks. I'll break down the futurecast of what you need to know coming up after the break.
Here at time 5:43 this evening. Thanks for joining us. It's been a warm October weekend for us here, but there is hope, not in the near future, but down the line if you take a look.
It's on the horizon. We've been talking about it the last few days because the meteorologists, the rest of the weather team, just like everyone else, wants to see fall. And today, the temperature's getting to about 90 degrees. That's not necessarily fall-like temperatures. Now, waking up about 63 degrees, that's a little more fall-like for us in San Antonio, a little closer to average as well. But we really want to see some cooler temperatures. And tomorrow morning as you're waking up, that is going to be possible. You're waking up at about 65 degrees in San Antonio, already similar to what we've been seeing. Already by lunchtime, about 80 degrees. Still seeing those mostly clear skies persist throughout the day. 90 degrees expected for the peak temperature. But for us, we're expected to still see that low humidity. But here's what I want to talk about. The morning temperatures. Like I just showed you earlier, the afternoon into the evening temperature still going to be similar, but the morning temperatures over the next 10 days, still between 65 to even 68 degrees. But next Sunday, even into next week, this is about a week to a week and a half out. That's when we're tracking that chance for some cooler temperatures. Now, how cooler? Yes, there is still going to be in the 60s. But there is a possibility of some folks seeing temperatures waking up in the 50s. Now, yes, San Antonio, we do have a 59 degrees expected for that Monday, but portions of the hill country are normally a few degrees cooler, so they could even see cooler temperatures. But this is still a ways away, and this is an ever so changing forecast. So we do want you to check back with us as we'll continue to keep you posted. Now, here's what we're talking about Sunday into Tuesday. That's kind of the time frame we're looking at. There's going to be a weak frontal system, a weak cool front, not necessarily a cold front, but a weak cool front bringing some cooler temperatures moving into South Texas, not necessarily cold temperatures like the 40s and 30s that portions of the upper Midwest are going to see. But as that cool front continues to move down, we're going to start to see some of that cooler air feed in. And that's what we're watching. Is the timing is still going to be a little iffy. We're tracking that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday being that time frame, but we don't know the strength of it, but we do know that some cooler temperatures are possible. And the rain chances, which is something we also still very much need. We're starting to see the rain chances possible Saturday into Sunday, about a 10 to 20% chance. And even Monday, there could be some leftover moisture still possible. Now, how much rain? Well, as this low pressure system and that cold front continue to move through the country, most of the rain is still going to stay out of San Antonio. But what we're tracking is maybe a few traces of rain. Now, that's exactly what we're going to be tracking, maybe a few traces, but like I mentioned, this is still a good week to week and a half away. So things are changing ever so slightly. We'll continue to keep you posted, but any rain is good rain. This is the drought monitor that was released on Thursday, I should say. Still seeing that exceptional drought for most of us here in South Central Texas. Over the next 3 days, 65 to 66 being our morning temperatures, 90 to 91 in the afternoon, seeing those mostly clear skies. In the evening, starting to see more chances of rain possible as we go into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, like I mentioned earlier, but that's when we're going to start to hopefully see some cooler temperatures. Yes, it is still a ways away, so check back with us and we'll continue to keep you posted.
So we're already looking forward to next week when it comes to weather.
Absolutely.
Hopefully it comes through. As you mentioned, things can change. Somebody else who's already looking forward to next week, the Cowboys, after some heartbreaking football this afternoon.
Yeah, it felt like the Cowboys were in a position to build on some momentum, but unfortunately not the case today. That defense, their run game exposed in Charlotte. We'll show you the highlights and post-game reaction coming up. And up in Dallas yesterday, the Longhorns get a big bounce-back victory in the Red River rivalry. We'll also take a look at the new AP Top 25 poll coming up.
So much is made about Arch, just like when we don't win, it's his fault. But when we do win, everybody praise Arch. We're the team.
It was a complete team effort in the Longhorns' Red River rivalry win in big board sports. But first, the Cowboys at the Panthers for Week 6. We take you to the first quarter. George Pickens makes a difficult grab. He then hurdles over a defender to get inside the 10. That drive ended with a Brandon Aubrey game-tying 23-yard chip shot. Ensuing drive, Donovan Wilson gets his second interception of the year as Tyroa McMillan has the ball go through his hands. The return and late hit from Rico Dowdle puts Dallas in the red. On 4th and short, the Cowboys go play action, and it's Prescott to a wide open Hunter Lipke, the fullback, getting his first career receiving touchdown. Dallas taking full advantage of the takeaway for the 10-3 lead. Second quarter now. Panthers' chance to answer. Former Cowboy Dowdle helped Carolina march downfield, and it's Bryce Young finding McMillan wide open in the end zone for his first NFL touchdown. It's 10-all. Now, without CeeDee Lamb, Pickens was tearing up the Panthers' defense, which helped the Cowboys take the lead on their next drive. That was Prescott to Jake Ferguson for the 19-yard touchdown, Ferguson's 4th TD in 3 games. Then Donovan Ezeraku had an impressive punch-out to force a fumble, but Carolina recovers the 2-fumble play. They'd kick a field goal. The score was 17-13 Cowboys at halftime.
Trevor Etienne in motion. Fake it to Dowdle. Young's got a shuffle. Steps up, throws. Wide open man is Dowdle. And he's going to take it to the end zone against his former team. Touchdown Carolina, and the Panthers lead.
Dowdle backing up his talk from earlier this week with the go-ahead touchdown. Later, it's Pickens again. He takes the quick slant and shoots right through the Carolina secondary for the 3rd down touchdown to retake the lead. But the Panthers having their way with Dallas's defense, marching right back down the field, and McMillan catching his 2nd touchdown of the day. Talk about a back-and-forth affair. Now, Aubrey helps tie up the game in the 4th quarter. It's 27-27. In Dallas's next drive, they go 3 and out, and Carolina would get the ball with 6:09 to play, and they'd use it all to drive downfield and kick a 33-yard field goal to win it. As the Cowboys suffer another road loss, 30-27, the final. Dallas is now 2-3-1. The defense struggled, and the offense only had 31 rushing yards despite a big day from Pickens and Dak, as you see their stats on your screen. Let's hear now what Dallas had to say following the loss.
They won the 4th quarter, and that's the NFL. We won the turnover battle, and don't know the big plays, but they won the 4th quarter, and that was the difference there. And a team that's obviously 2nd-year coach, young quarterback playing well, getting better, young running back, right, that we're familiar with. He told us to buckle up, and he went and had a hell of a game. And credit to them, they got the best, and they're the better team this afternoon.
They controlled the game, on both sides, and you got to give them credit for that. We knew they were a physical football team. We weren't surprised by that, but they were able to run it, and we weren't. And this is a game where you got to win the line of scrimmage, and we didn't win the line of scrimmage today. I told the team that. It's disappointing, but I got to give them a lot of credit. They ran hard, they blocked well, and we have to be better, and we'll look at it and we'll get it fixed.
Staying connected, continuing to grind with one another, because it's easy to succumb to the outside noise. And there was a lot getting talked about our team and about these guys, and I think they responded.
Yesterday looked more like the Texas team people expected to see in 2025. UT defeated 6th-ranked Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry 23-6 yesterday, saving their season for now in a tough Southeastern Conference. But was it enough to get them back in the AP Top 25? Absolutely. Here's how the dominoes fell on the AP Top 25 this week for our programs in Texas. Number 4, Texas A&M, and number 5, Mississippi traded places after the Aggies' 17-point win over Florida yesterday. Texas Tech earned its highest ranking since November of 2008, coming in at 7 after their convincing 42-7 win over Kansas. The Longhorns were the preseason number 1 team. They dropped out of the rankings last week after losses to Ohio State and Florida. This week, though, UT back in at number 21, while OU drops from 6 to 14. Now let's hear from the head coach of the 4th-ranked and 6-0 Aggies, Mike Elko.
I thought that was as complete a team complementary win as we've had. It's a great win against a really quality opponent. I think this win will age well as the year goes on, and now it's on to the next. And now we got to become road warriors and go on the road for 3 straight, starting with a really talented Arkansas team next week. And I'm sure they'll be fired up for the return of Coach Petrino back into Fayetteville, and that's a tough place to play. And so we have to get ready and go out and try to be 1-0 again next week.
6-0 for the Aggies and Texas Tech. Very impressive this far into the season.
Absolutely. The Aggies and Red Raiders looking like the real deal halfway through college football season.
Definitely.
Thanks for that, Mary. We'll be right back.
Most of the weather is going to be pretty much similar. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, peak temperature in the upper 80s, even low 90s, with rain chances returning and hopefully some cooler weather.
forward to it. Hopefully cool temperatures. Thanks for joining us on the Gun Show. I didn't get the memo, no sleeves. I'll see you tonight at 10.